Okay, this is problem 18 from chapter 2 in CFIN7. This is a DuPont analysis or problem. So, so we're going to use the DuPont equations to solve this problem. So, Smitty's Finger Licking Barbecue has total asset turnover equal to 2, return on equity equal to 15%, a debt ratio equal to 60%. If Smitty's is financed with debt and common stock, what are its ROA or return on assets and the net profit margin? First thing to note here, anytime you see debt ratio or common equity, all the problems we work will be all either debt or common stock. So this tells you that common equity is 40%. So, and that's going to be important because we're going to need common equity as part of the calculation here. They've got the formulas for associated with the DuPont analysis on the next slide. So so we need to calculate ROA or return on assets. Well, if we look down here, we've got ROE is equal to ROA times equity multiplier. So the equity multiplier is down here. It's either 1 divided by the percent of common equity or 1 divided by 1 minus the debt ratio. It's also 1 plus the debt to equity ratio. Also, we don't need it for this problem, but total assets divided by common equity. It's also a good idea on these calculations to think about where the items come from. So, for example, total assets and common equity come from the balance sheet. Sales and net income come from the income statement. So the more familiar you are with where the information comes from, the easier it'll be to do the calculation. So the first calculation, we're going to use this equation. And we'll go back. All right. So for a ROE is equal to ROA times the equity multiplier. So we rearrange the equation where ROA, return on assets, is equal to ROE divided by the equity multiplier. So from over here, our equity multiplier is 1 divided by common equity, which is 0.4 or 40%. So that's 2.5. So our ROA, return on assets, is equal to 15. Our ROE divided by 2.5, which is 6%. So that's the answer to A. Now for B, go to the next page again. We can see that ROE is also equal to net profit margin times total asset turnover times the equity multiplier. So A, B, so our ROE is net profit margin, which is what we need to calculate, times total asset turnover times equity multiplier. So we plug in what we know. 15 is equal to net profit margin times total asset turnover 2 times 2.5, the equity multiplier, we can rearrange, and net profit margin is equal to 15 divided by 2 times 2.5, which is 5, so that's 3%.